Before we get started, have you gotten my free ebook, 5 Powerful Steps to Win Your Morning? Go to thesuccess.life/5 Powerful Steps. This ebook has 5 powerful strategies you can implement right away to help you have more energy, clarity, and focus, and accomplish more in less time. Go to thesuccess.life/5 Powerful Steps and get your copy today. Hello, my friend, and welcome to Press Pause. I'm your host, Janelle Bruland, and I'm here to help you regain control of your life for you. Each week, I will be giving you helpful tips and one thing you can implement immediately to overcome the chaos of life and take back control. I was once an overwhelmed, overcommitted entrepreneur, and I get what it's like to be balancing all of the things between work and home, and I'm here to help you take back control. Let's dive right in. Welcome to Press Pause. Today I want to talk to you about how to press pause and focus on your most important relationships. You don't want to have regrets when it comes to your relationships. Are you really giving them the focus, the time, and the energy that you want to? So I'm going to share about the relationship with my parents today. Now, I don't know if you have a good relationship with your mom or dad, or if you've got a mom or a father figure in your life that's important. I want to encourage you to make time for that relationship or other really important relationships in your life. Because when it comes to the end of your life, you're not going to be focused on the work that you've done or the awards that you've won or the accolades, but it's going to be about those people that were most important to you, those connections. So my husband and I made a decision back in 2018. And I had recently gone to a friend's funeral who lost her mom. And I remember that when we were at the reception after the memorial service, that she put her arm on mine and she looked into my eyes and she said, "Janelle, spend every minute that you can with your parents." Wow. That hit me and I thought, well, we do spend a lot of time with my parents. I do spend a lot of time with my mom and dad. But what she said to me was so compelling, I thought I needed to take a deeper look. And though my parents have always been a big part of our lives, I mean, we have a tradition of them coming over every Sunday for Sunday dinner. We've done that for years. I used to, as a little girl, we would go to my grandma's house. And then as I grew up, we went to my mom's house for Sunday dinner. And then it became where I have Sunday dinner. And so every Sunday, my parents and my family would come over, great tradition that we had. And they would be at all our important family events. But I thought, how can I be intentional about making this relationship deeper? And so my husband and I decided in 2018 that we were going to be intentional about having a deeper relationship with my mom and dad. So they were getting a little bit older, and my dad especially always loved to travel. But they weren't doing it quite as much as they were getting older. I think they were getting a little less comfortable going through the hustle and bustle of the airports. So we sat them down one Sunday afternoon when the rest of the family had left, and we said, "You know what, Mom and Dad? We want to travel more with you. So, Dad, what's a bucket list place, a place that you've wanted to go that you haven't been yet?" And he said to me, "You know, I've always wanted to take a cruise to Mexico and go visit, some of the different countries. I always wanted to go to Mexico." So I said, "Well, why don't we do that together?" And I have to say that cruising is not Graham and my favorite way of traveling. It's a little bit too scheduled for me, but this is what they wanted to do. And so we looked into it and we found an awesome cruise to Mexico that stopped at Cabo and Puerto Vallarta and Mazatlan, a few other places. And so we set up this trip and we had such a blast together. We took ourselves down to the pace that my parents traveled at. And it was actually nice to have a more relaxed pace, rather, than our usual way of traveling. And we would play cards together in the evening and we would tour about during the day. I remember that was my dad's first Uber ride. And he said, "You can take Uber in Mexico?" And we did, as for one of the excursions. It was so much fun. We had such a blast with them and they were so giddy about the trip. It was so much fun. And after that trip, "Where do you want to go next, Mom and Dad?" Well, they'd always wanted to go see the canyons of Zion Canyon and Bryce Canyon. They'd always wanted to do that. Well, we'd never done that before either. So we decided to take a road trip. And what a trip that was. Wow. Just going to these vast canyons and seeing their beauty. And Bryce Canyon was great. My mom uses a walker, and they actually have, I think it was 13 stops, so you could stop by car and look at the outlooks, the different places. And after we'd done a few, which were all amazing, we stopped at the next one, and I said to my mom and dad, let me just get out and take a look, because we don't probably have to see them all. I'm sure that many of them will start to look the same. Well, I got out of the car, I went to the outlook, and it was just jaw-dropping beauty. And I went back to the car. I said, nope, we got to get out. We got to get out and take a look at this. And I will never forget standing at the railing with them and seeing their awe of creation and God's beautiful handiwork. So in the last 5 years, we've drugged my parents all over the place. During the pandemic, we broke them out of their retirement home and we took them out boating because it was the only thing that you could do during those times. And we spent so much wonderful quality time with them, such special time, just focusing and being present with them. My friend, my dad, passed away last month. And I will never forget, and I will never regret for one moment these times of travel that we had together and focusing on this most important relationship with my mom and dad. And now I'll go on and spend a lot more time with my mom, because even though my dad lived a wonderful, blessed 91 years and leaves a wonderful legacy for us, it was so hard to say goodbye to him. No matter how much you prepare, no matter how much time you spent, the deeper the love, the deeper the hurt, right? But one of my family members, when we were saying goodbye to my dad in his last hours, said to him, Dad, we didn't get to spend as much time together as I would have liked to on this earth. We didn't do as many hikes, as much travel as I would have liked to, but we're going to do a lot more of that in heaven. And I'll tell you, I'm so grateful for every moment I've had with my mom and dad. And so I just want to encourage you today to not have regrets. If there's a relationship in your life that needs to be mended, if there's a relationship in your life where there needs forgiveness, if there's a relationship that you've just been putting in the back seat that needs your focus, go change that right now, because you don't know how much time you have with them. And I don't want you to have any regrets. Press pause and focus on those most important relationships. You'll be so glad you did.
Thank you for listening today. Take that one thing you learned and start making it a habit in your life now. And be sure to tune in next week for another thing you can do to improve your life and be the best version of yourself. Cheers to making this time for you each and every day. If you're enjoying this podcast, will you please take a moment to leave a positive review? This helps get the message out to impact as many people as possible. And I encourage you to subscribe to this podcast. That way the episodes will drop each time a new one comes out. Remember, you don't have to be overwhelmed and overcommitted. You have the power to take back control of your life.